Good morning. It's wonderful this morning that we can meet together and have this panel. My name is Aiko Kazuku Kurosaki. I'm an artist based in Vienna, but born in Japan. And I'm really excited to be here today, together with ZDARSKY. Aiko, by the way, is my artistic name, and also so is ZDARSKY. It's also her artistic name, but you can call me Aiko, it's okay, completely. And Julia is her name, by the way, but ZDARSKY, her artistic name.
Okay, I'm ZDARSKY. I'm working together with Kazuku, and my favorite media that I use, that I work with, is projection, which is a perfect media for political activism in the public space, because a projection is just light. It's completely non-destructive. It is completely non-violent. But in my case, with the technique I use, it is big. It is really big. Size matters. I can tell you, size matters, because with this media, I can do. I can put big, really big messages into the public space, and the public space is to be squatted again. Everything, I think, in feminism is about visibility. You know, it's all about visibility. I think every woman knows when it comes to jobs and money and thing, suddenly you're complete invisible. You're out of the discussion, you know, the guys get the job. So with this media, we create big visibility in the public space, and we take back the space that we are unvisibilized, thrown out of the public realm in money terms, in power terms, in visibility terms. So what I do, I take it myself, and I don't ask anybody. I just decide I will do it, I do it. This is what we can learn from art, is to decide yourself, to empower yourself, and in this sense, you can read all my works in the public space. You can read as art of self-empowerment, because and I want to empower other women, other people, because when they see I'm able with that to answer a public visible message, for example, to the Chancellor of Austria, because I used the building of the Chancellery or of the President. Yeah, I can, me as an nobody, as an artist, I can put answers to the President or the Chancellor or the Ministry with this tool. Yeah. So if you read this carefully, you can see it's possible to empower yourself and to take back some of the public space that we are ausradiert. Erased, that we are erased. We can take it back. Yeah. So maybe you want to say something, or?
Yes, from my side, I want to say I am in a different art field. I work with my body. And this is a political topic and issue, to work with the body for activism. My skill is to dance and to perform. And I use it since many years for several things. In the beginning, as I'm Japanese, I was doing performances in public space for Hiroshima Memorial Day for the atomic bomb. And then I was starting to do projects for refugees, against racism. And then somebody asked me to do also against violence to women. So I started like 10 years ago with this. And since then, I'm really much into feminism and working on the street with several projects every year. And I think it's a very new way of making a rising demonstration in an empowering way, not in a negative way. So we try to give the women our solidarity, to show them, even though the topic is very, very serious, that we can really start being loud, being visible, using our bodies, using our dance to show them solidarity, and show that the topic is not unseen anymore. And it's called 1 Billion Rising. Austria is our thing. 1 Billion Rising itself is international. Maybe you know it. It's worldwide, it's global, and it's every year. We started there was a call 2012. For the first time, it was 2013. And we did this on the 14th of February. So we had a certain dance. We were dancing it all together. We were like 600 in Vienna at the time, but everywhere in the world. So we are like thousands of women, mainly, but not only, but mainly women, to dance for the end of violence to women and girls. Yeah, that's my part, more or less. I think you don't want to take over again, or no?
Give me one moment.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, it's a very, very clear and also not easy way for us to be on the street, because we are more vulnerable there. As people passers by can do anything, do and speak to us. So sometimes it's also can get dangerous. But on the other hand, we are out of our like safety zone, comfort zone. We're on the street, and this makes the thing really like a challenge to us too, but it's also good for making our what we want to say more visible. And that's why I think it's a very good way. And it's also for us a nice way to come out of our bubble, because in the art field, when you are dancing in a theater, for instance, the people who would come, they know us, or they want to see about us, so they are anyway interested in the topic. But the people on the street, they are not, and which is very good that we are on the street, and we are really yeah, by chance we can meet people, we can start having discussions. So this is I think a very, very important tool to be in public space. That's why I really enjoy to do this. And I also did some more severe artwork, like last year. I was making a durational performance for 29 days in Vienna, in the center of Vienna, in a very public space, and 8 hours a day dancing to end violence to women and girls in a other way. It's not in an empowering way, but it's more a serious way. And I had always somebody with me who was there to talk with the people, to give them information, and also make discussions. And it was very interesting to archive all the things what the people said, or what the people saw through this. Or yes, so it was a very, very nice, also a research project, you can say. And I will go on with this. Now I did this already in 2 other cities in Austria. And next, on the 25th of November, I will do this in another space in Vienna again. I think it's everything what you do, it's necessary to be done because the numbers of violence to women are rising right now, and also in Austria, and it's really urgent, and it's a need that all kinds of projects, all kinds of initiatives are working together and doing it. That's what I also see as an artist, that we can build kind of a bridge between the politicians and the civil people and the NGOs. Yeah, so I think now for this part, more or less, it's all. I would like to ask ZDARSKY to do the second part.
Yeah, I agree with you with this point of it's completely different to do art in a defined art space or to use the public space, because you meet completely other people, and you can it can have more impact. You can activate other people, because in the art space you are allowed to do everything, but at the same time it doesn't matter because everybody knows you can do everything. It has no impact. Yeah? If you use the public space, it gets a certain impact that you don't get in the art space. And also I agree with this. What we are doing in the public space, it is art, but it's also kind of political activism, and it makes a connection between different spaces that usually don't have to do with each other so much. Yeah? What I also wanted to say, I think, you know, we use different techniques. For example, as the president of the Golden Revolution, or with some of the text messages. Anna, I wanted to say something else. These pieces that I do with the projection in the public space is kind of a present to everybody, because what happens there? On the one hand, it's only for now, it's only in the moment. I turn off the projector, it's gone. There is nothing left, yeah? Just in the memory. On the other hand, if you document it, you take pictures and videos, then very strong images emerge. And these images contain a message that you can use. It's kind of my present to all the feminists in the world. They can use my messages anytime. Yeah. And it's strong messages. It's about self-empowerment, empowerment of women. And the other thing that we do content-wise, I talk now, is we put, it's easy to oppose, but it's dangerous. The thing that we try to do now more is to put visions into the world, yeah? Because if you put a vision in the world, then it starts its own life, and it might go around the world or not, but if you put it, it starts a new life. The artwork, the message, the image, the text gets its own life. Yeah, and it's very important not to only oppose the fucking shitty capitalistic patriarchic system. It's very important to oppose it, but at the same time, when you oppose it, you evolve, emerge their concepts again. So what can we do? can change completely, and we put visions into the world, our visions, our concepts. Not, I don't want to wiederholen.
Repeat.
I don't want to repeat the fucking patriarchic capitalistic system again and again and again in my artwork. We need to put our own ideas, our own visions into the world. Yeah, this is what art and activism and the civil society and the feminist movement around the world, we have to put ideas. Because if we don't put our visions and ideas, we patriarch, capitalist, it goes round and round and round forever. So we switch our mind. Our tool is a kind of experimental optimism, because we say, okay, we say, we are the golden revolution. Fuck you, patriarchy. Fuck you, capitalism. We have new concept. We change that all. So we act in a kind of temporary reality that we put inside reality. It has another reason, because as a feminist, as a woman worldwide, you always speak out of a lack, out of a missing, out of poverty, out of as a victim. We don't want to be victims anymore. We want to be strong and visible and beautiful. We are strong, visible, and beautiful. All of us. We are really strong. The feminists that work and act under the circumstances of the patriarchy, they have to do 3 times, 5 times, 100 times more than every man. And they don't get recognition, and they don't get money, and so the circumstances are quite hard. We learn to be really strong and tough. We can do more. Yeah, so we are already there, strong and beautiful. Yeah, and we don't want to go further in this capitalist way. So what we do, we change reality. We say, okay, we are the golden revolution. We are here already. We are strong. We are there. We do it already. Yeah, and this gives us another possibility of speaking, because we don't want to be victim anymore, poor, ausgeschlossen, discriminated. We just stop this in this temporary reality that we create ourselves, in the hope that this reality will squat other realities and become stronger, stronger, stronger through time. And then we will be right, because we don't put up the capitalistic and patriarchal system again. We put our visions and make them strong in the world over time. This is maybe a strange concept, but it gives us the possibility to speak different than a victim. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And this is empowerment, and this is exactly the tool which I'm also using. And the same like what ZDARSKY said before, what we want to give is also strength, hope, empowerment. And I think this is something what is really good to do in the way we are doing on the street, in public space. Also, it's an invitation to you all join us, to be with us. And last year also we did our rising online on Zoom, and it worked. And before I thought, no, it's not working on the street, on online, on digital space. We have to be there, we have to be in the street, and we have to do it personal and there, but due to COVID-19 restrictions, we could not. And it was amazing how this worked and how we could we could benefit out of this too, because we had guests from all over the world. So we could make a bigger rising even. There were more people than usual, and we had them from everywhere. And this was something very special. And also this together dancing and rising up together, it worked, which was very amazing. And I really couldn't believe till then. So it's nice. This is something what we can also share, that it's not, I mean, I would love to be now in Bilbao, but for me, for instance, I could not go there anyway because I was in another production. So I would have missed the first 2 days. And now I can join you because I'm here in Vienna, but we are online together. This is something which is very special. And I think this is something we have to keep also as like a big chance that we can go on working and go on doing things without losing our hope. I think this is a very special thing. I would now like to know who had the chance to see our contribution we did. We let publish yesterday on the YouTube channel of MarxFem conference. Is there anybody who has no idea about it, or is there anybody who saw it? I would like to know this from you. Yeah, Heidi, please unmute yourself.
Yes, I saw it, and it was very, very good connection from your work, and also reflecting the last, or no, not the last, the second conference in Vienna in the last sequences of the video, and great success with this video. And I remember Gayatri Spivak was very, very, very love to see your performance, and was very close to you in this performance. So I'm a little bit, enttäused. Sorry that there are not more now visitors to this plenary, but I hope, and the video was very late to go to have the link for all of us, but I hope we will success to have the artwork more in the middle of the conferences in the future.
Yeah, I think that was mentioned in the conference. Sometimes that there were some interesting things about plurality of feminisms, and about, I think it's really many people on the conference mentioned it's time that we make bigger alliances, that we work together, that the leftist problem, that we are very divided, and everybody has its own feminism and maybe can't go with the other. It's but it's also in the what we want is impact. We want change, and we want it now. Yeah, that was said many times. Yeah,
we have to find our common things, not the topics.
Yeah, but we want the change now. Yeah, we want impact. So if we want impact, it doesn't. It's we have to get together. Yeah, there is, and what we do, what you do in the political space, what people do in the thinking space, what people do in the activism space, all is important. What we do in the art space, or in the artivism space, it's all very important. We have to learn, I think, to be together with our differences, because I think artworks can strengthen the message, give some heart quality to the impact that we want. It's not thought. The art thing, you can feel it, yeah, which is very important. And from art you can learn a lot. The most important thing from art that you can learn is to decide yourself. Nobody can tell you when a piece is finished or not. You have to decide yourself. You have to decide which is the message do I want to put, how do I change it, how do I, how I formulieren, wie formuliere ich es, was verstecke ich, was zeige ich offen. Sorry, I just switch when I don't have the right words.
English in the morning is not so easy.
Early in the morning after short sleep. Yeah.
We in the art scene, we have to be really ready to work and to be strong in the evening. That was what was my, and then it's hard to be in the morning, active and energetic.
But what I want to say is, from art you can learn to decide yourself. This is in all realms. It's really important. Yeah, we cannot. Was ist wiederholen?
Repeat.
We cannot repeat things all the time, and if you are always stick to the rules, there will be no change, there will no utopia, no vision in the world. Yeah? Break the rules. This you can learn in art, and do it yourself, and don't wait that somebody allows you to do something, or somebody says, yes, that's good, yes, that's bad. No, you can learn to, you have to decide yourself. Nobody can tell you. This is a very important thing.
Yeah, it's also this, that we can reach people in another way. We can touch them. We can communicate through different things than just through our thinking and the logic. It's you can touch them in a different way and maybe shift a little bit the way of their thinking. And this is, I think, what is very important. And I think this is what is very good for people's mind, for us all. Thank you. I think it's a kind of a chance to break up with hard, how to say, way of thinking of some people's mind. And if through telling other stories, telling other emotions, showing it, we can reach and we can bring the people to start to think or to feel something about, and to start maybe rethink the topic. So I think this is what is really our big chance for us artists, to reach the people and to gain global empathy, for instance, as you see. Yes.
I think, we work with global empathy, and I found it interesting that Leander from Guatemala, she also talked about global visions, but she even talked about cosmic dimensions. So we have to leave this theoretical part, this thinking part, connect to our hearts, and get more global visions, and maybe even cosmic dimensions into the feminist praxis.
Yeah, this is very important. And I think we all can do this. We all have this possibility to do. And also, it's not to divide between the intellectuals, the left, and the artists. It's about us. And it's possible. And so we really try to, this is my work since many years now, to build the bridge between the activism, the feminism, and the arts, and to put it together. It's not so easy yet, because I think in one way we are all stuck in kind of a bubble, and not many people can switch so easily, like I don't know why, but for me it's not so difficult. So I see this is one of my biggest challenge, and my effort. I'm engaging myself to build the bridge. I think this is something very important for the future. As also Frigga Haug tells, as art is a big part of our life. Art is not something which is, okay, this is the artist and this is their something and they have their thing and they do have their, no, it's not like this. It's a part of the life and it should be the part of everybody's life, I think. And it's very not that difficult. It's not that specific, and it's something which is we can get in connection much easier than we think. And it's not that we don't try to think. It's not like this, because also we have to. You need a kind of a certain intelligence to be able to do the art. So it's not that we are just a brainless, like the dancers. We say, oh, they have no brain. They're just dancing. They're just moving their bodies. No. So this is not this, but we are speaking in a different way. That's it. And for instance, speaking through the body is very global. It's international because you don't need the language. You don't need to translate it. It's much easier to understand. So we can use this tool as a media to bring our messages. Yeah, I think
that brings me to something that I think also the art space has to change, because this capitalistic art that is the white man's business, yeah. We have a different understanding of art. We see art as a communication tool, as something for self-empowerment, self-decision, as an anarchic way of living. And also art is completely, in my thoughts, completely out of the capitalistic system, because art actually you can't sell. I always do things just for the moment. They are here now and then they are gone. What does this tell us? Yeah, this is not an object. This is keine Ware. This is not, you cannot pay it with money. You create moments, you create emotions, you create collective spaces, collective emotions, spaces where people that participate are together and create something new, the artwork. Yeah. So this is the complete opposition to capitalistic object that you can buy with money. Yeah. Art is always present to all of us. Yeah. And this is how I practice the art. Actually, I make presents, the images that evolve in this process, because art is also not only not an object, it is always a process of work. It has its high points and thing that maybe that when its light is on, this is the very high point, but it's always about the process. Yeah? There is kein Werk, no object, no money. Art is a present to humanity, actually. Yeah.
But may I say something? But in reality, if you see and look at the art world in the high society, kind of we say in German Hochglanz, how you say, the celebrities in the art field, there you can see that the system itself there, it's even stronger than in the real world. So in the art world, you can see that the big famous celebrities, so-called great artists, are paid so much higher, and the others are living in a very precarious situation. We have misogynist artists. We have
so absurd.
It's really absurd, and it is also a very political topic. Even in the dance world, we have still people really putting women under pressure, being violated, doing violence to them. So it's and still we have this glass, how you say, the glass ceiling. And even you see now, okay, we have some choreographers quite famous, also female, but when if you look in the art world, there's still something. And we have now, like in Vienna, we have some women, female directors, artistic directors in theaters, and still I spoke with one of them. She said, you know why we are like a director of this theater? Why we know why we are so many, because we are cheaper and we are more silent than the others. So that's a really, to the gender pay gap for us women is still existing also here in Austria. So we are not equal, we are not, still not. So I think it's a very, very important thing to bring up all these political issues also to our art world. This is the other side of the coin, to say.
Yeah, but we have to kind of, in feminism as well as in activism and art, we have to put on our own visions. I think the time is over to react to the system only. We have to act, we have to put something, put visions, take actions. Maybe sometimes because you're right, the artist life is really precarious, and if you decide to be an artist, you have to put up with living in poverty almost your whole life, yeah. And you do it. If you love art, you do it. Okay, this is the price. I pay the price because I want to do what I want to do. So I pay the price, yeah. But sometimes I think maybe it's better to go crazy, because then you can be in your vision without being punished. But principally, this is what we have to do in art, this creating of your own visions, putting different reality into reality, hoping that this different reality will change the existing reality a little bit, or overlaps it, or overwhelms it in time, yeah? Or at least for a moment, but this moment maybe can inspire you, that is possible. To sometimes life is so hard, and to being a feminist artist is so hard, that you lose the imagination of a good life, yeah. This shouldn't happen, but it happens sometimes, yeah. But we have to strengthen our imagination of a good life, and sometimes talk out of a position as if the good life is already there, as if we are not discriminated anymore, as if we have the same rights, as if we are mighty, powerful, strong people in society. What we say is listened to. They want to hear what we have to say. Yeah, our message is important. It maybe helps.
It gives us a relief, and it gives us hope. And I think this is the one of the most important things to go on. Yes, I think so too. I agree with that.
Yeah, because if you don't have hope, you don't do anything, and everything, the doing also is strengthened by the vision that you have power, you are somebody. You shouldn't take this capitalistic and patriarchalic discrimination so much into your body. Of course, we all have it in our bodies and minds. We are discriminated subjects, but our strength can be to get this out of our bodies, yeah, and act as people of the Golden Revolution, yeah. And then you feel very strong, and then you do a lot of things, yeah. As a discriminated subject, I can only cry or shout out, yeah, but as a powerful woman of the golden revolution, of the golden age, yeah, I can do a lot of different things, a lot more. But it's difficult because, of course, we are victims in the system. Yeah.
No, we are not.
But of course, we shouldn't take this too serious. Or I don't know, handle it in a different kind. You know, we now fought for more than 100 years. Yeah, we reached a lot, but not enough. Yeah? Never stopped the fight. Yeah? But maybe change the weapons.
Yeah, it's a pity because I don't know. I think almost except of Heidi cannot understand the German word. She's using sentences for the projections in which she's playing around with the meanings of the German language, also sometimes in English, but more in German because as we are living in Austria and we use German. So she's like there is this sentence I like very much, zu den Waffeln, which means waffles. You know, waffles is a sweet, it's something you can eat, but it's in the same time Waffen means weapon. So she's calling out to take these sweets to fight for us. For instance, this is a sentence you cannot translate in in English so well. Yeah. Is anybody there who has any? Yeah, crepes could be right. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a crepe. Yeah,
something like crepe or no, I don't know the English word. I would have to look it up. But I'm a little bit distracted because of the early morning hour, and maybe I talk too much, but maybe and too distracted. But maybe some of you has questions to ask or a discussion to start with us in order not to talk alone all the time. Maybe somebody wants to say something.
Yes, I posted it in the chat. In the discussions yesterday, there pop up several times the question of identity, and in your video, you have this slogan: "Nobody define her, him, itself." Could you say a little bit more of this?
I think this is what I'm always talking about. We can talk now about nobody, which is a cool move also, because with this project Nobody, on the one hand, we take the discrimination that we are in. Okay, we are not somebody. Who is somebody? Somebody is the chancellor, the minister, the director, all these bosses that we have, all these male white bosses. Yeah, we are not. Okay, we take this now. We say, okay, I see I am nobody. But on the other hand, we just switch the meaning of nobody. We say nobody is somebody. Nobody is everybody that is invisible. Nobody is everybody that has no voice in the public discussion, in the public space. There is not, nobody is the ones that cannot pay the huge billboards and put their messages in the public space. And this nobody now, if we change it to somebody, and the sentence with the nobody defines itself, nobody is taking back the definition power, the power of definition. This is what we try to do from this double meaning of nobody is somebody, from this really diskriminierten, klein gemachten negierten, ausradierten spot, from this nobody spot, yeah, powerless, this
Neglected.
powerless nobody spot. From this spot, we change, we switch reality. Yeah, we say, okay, we create the prototype of a person in art. We define ourselves. We don't accept the definitions that are put on our bodies, on our personalities. We don't accept them anymore. We switch, and since we are nobody, powerless, and not important, what should they say against it, that we define ourselves now in our way? Yeah, we use this little hole of powerlessness to create a certain other power, because nobody is a very good trick. Already Odysseus used it, in the ancient myth of Greek myth. Nobody already is there, because Odysseus said, oh, nobody hacked my eye, and nobody hit me. If it's nobody, I can't help you. It must be somebody, then I can help you. If it's nobody, sorry, I can't help you with this problem. Yeah. So nobody has a certain power, and also this impact, or this trying to define a new reality. Definition power. Of course, as an anarchist, as an artist, I can be anarchist, because nobody can tell me what to do. I can be easily anarchist. Maybe they don't take me serious then, but I don't care. I don't have to follow anything if I don't want.
I just want to say that in the art field, it's possible that you change the identity from also in several times, in 1 second to the other, or you can just define yourself in another identity, and which is very playful, but also very thoughtful, and you can switch in between things, and you can, and identities and persons, or also even things. And this is also what, in one kind of my way of like performing, in my way of using my body, I can switch and change myself from one to the other, object to subject, which is very interesting for also people to watch, but also for me to do. And it also softens all these borders we are like kind of captured inside. This is also one thing we can do.
Yes, switch identities, or maybe try out new identities. Maybe it's a playground for new identities that we can create. And what I wanted to say is, we feminists, we have a big problem. This is, we have to really carry a hard burden. But with this nobody, and with this switch, and with these other identities, we bring into the discussion another kind of lust.
Joy.
Yeah. With all this precarious, discriminated and shit, yeah, maybe we lose the joy sometimes, yeah. So we can bring another joy into this discussion, which is very serious, but it helps, and it opens the heart if you do it with joy.
Yeah. The good thing is in art, you have the freedom to create new world, new whatever, what you want to do, and just create something which is not really the reality, what with you're stuck in. So you can just kind of try out also what could be possible, and then when you create like this, what ZDARSKY is telling, and you believe in it, what you do, because you have to, this gives you the possibility to change maybe a little bit your perspective.
It's kind of a experimental space. Yeah, you can experiment with yourself, with your body, with your life, with your whole personality. You can do a social experiment and see if it works out or not. It's yeah.
It's also kind of a social sculpturing when we are working with other people also on the street, on the in public space. It's kind of it's not only the performing art, it's also fine art, and you can define itself, and you can as a social sculpturing, which is also a topic.
Which is also interesting because you never know what will be the outcome. You know, you start the process, you are into the process, and if you open up this process so much as we like to do it in the public space and with other people, it's always open and open. It's very nice that you cannot define the outcome before you do it. Yeah, you're always überrascht. It's always
surprised.
You're always surprised. There's always something surprising happening. Yeah? And out of this surprise, there are a lot of things are evolving. Yes? It opens up your mind and your heart, and you can learn a lot.
And if there is anybody who wants to introduce himself, yeah, I did. Thank you. But I know you already. I know the others I don't know. We are curious, and yes, we are not like a usual panel keynote speaker. So it's kind of a meeting of together. So I think this is what is about networking also, and we are all persons. So please, if you want, you can switch on your cameras and talk to us. Martina, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so greetings from Warsaw, Poland. I have a question for you because I remember some of you from the conference at university in Lund. And today's panel just gave me one impression because after a few years in activism and also at my work, I have a question: how to still stay active after many years as you, and what kind of advice you can give to the people who just started their activism and also work on things that they are important for them. Thank you.
It's a good question, but I think it's hard to answer. You want to answer, Kazuko?
I can answer.
Yeah, it's hard. That's why I asked that, because I'm struggling with that now because of all of the changes in Poland, and also I'm more involved in reproductive rights because I'm a doctor, and that's just something that really struggles me.
Yeah, this is a very hard thing. There are two things for me. I have the feeling I cannot stop right now. I cannot stop because there are so many things to do still. Yeah. On the other side, there are so many things to do that sometimes I had this picture of like there are like many places of fire and I don't know where to go first. And I could go like every day on the street for some whatever topics, and the climate and the reproduction rights and yes, so racism. So there's so many things, and I'm quite well in the network, so it's really hard. So I have a good advice. Try to find the way that you can do it in a joyful way and watch that you take care of yourself a lot, because it can burn you out. I know activists, not only feminists, but also some feminists also, they really burned out and they had to stop. And this is a big, big danger. So this is something what we really have to say, no, now I have to do something else, or I have to look, I have to give me a treat, I have to relax, I have to, yeah, this is something which I really, we have to try to make things better. It doesn't make sense to burn out ourselves and destroy ourselves. So we have to really watch ourselves very carefully, be nice to us, so we can be nice to the others. I think this is a very, very important fact.
But it's also, I also understand this aspect of the question. It's very hard to not get depressed, because like like for example me, 20 years now, I do these projections on government buildings and demonstrations and activism. And as I said, of course, for the price of poverty and having a really hard life and having to work all the time just to get a little bit further. So then sometimes it's hard to not get depressed, because also 20 years of work, what did change? Changes were not so much. We didn't have so much impact. We activists, we work, and then there comes the next right-wing government and destroys things that have been fought for 50 years, 100 years, yeah, and they just do wonk, and it's gone again. The rights, in the human rights, the right of for your own body, the
Reproduction rights.
The reproduction right, thing, and it's very easy to get depressed if you see the little impact of the 20 years of work, if you see and I think I agree with this joy, do it with joy, because if you do it with joy and with Überzeugung, with
being convinced,
self-convinced, with self-confidence about what the importance of what you do, it brings you joy. The doing itself brings joy to you. That helps. And I'm sometimes very depressed, and I think the one and only thing that strengthens me in hard times is Verbündete, alliances, friends that I have. I feel in this society we don't have too many friends, but we have few, and I think they are all over the world. Yeah, and when I have a connection to relative minds, friendly relative minds that I think they understand me, I understand them. This sometimes helps not to feel so little, so depressed, so impactless,
but this is also about activism.
also,
If we are together and if we see that we are not only alone standing on the street, this makes us feel kind of this is empowerment, and I think this is very important to us all to do this, and also there is no option to do nothing for me, because I have not the option to say everything is fine. If I would stop doing something, it was okay, I'm fine with everything. No, I'm not. So that's why for me there is no option yet. But still, I have to say it's very good to be really aware of that we have our limits. There was a question in the chat
we have our power, and I think I plea very much for alliances, for coming together. Women unite worldwide. This is a very old slogan, but it's so true. Yeah, and I always think that we are more powerful than we know yet. Yeah. And if we get together and if we manage to put all our powers together, we are really, really strong. We can overthrow the system, whoops, easily with one pitch. Yeah. Alliances, alliances, alliances. Get together.
I see some questions now in the chat. So the first question is, the art is also a way of creating identity in front of imposed social roles, and also to create a strong collective identity. In what extent? Which are its limits? I think, Julia, this is for you, this question.
I think this is possible. Creating a collective identity, I think, is not possible. We have to see finally in the end, now after a long struggle, we have to put up with plurality. There is no collective identity. We are one, we are different. This is so true. We have to put up with being together with the difference, love them for the difference, and not trying to be. I think the idea of normative identity is very patriarchal and capitalistic. I plea for liquid gender, for self-definition, for fluid identities, because in the flow of your life, you're not always the same person. You change a lot over the years and in the moments, and you are the time you are on the stage, you're a different person than when you relax on the sofa. Yeah, and plurality, I think, is the key word, and not being so afraid of the difference, embrace the differences. Yeah. Our collective identity must be one that is not normative and that has no normality, and that is a very, on the one hand, fluid, and on the other hand, with a lot of differences inside. Also, we have to accept the Widerspruch in our own personalities. I'm nobody, I'm somebody, I'm this, I'm that. I'm this new person that I just created. I'm this old person that has all these social impacts in my body, written, pressed on my body. Yeah? So me, in myself, I'm not just one. And this normative is a complete old school idea. We are many, we are different, we have to find a collective identity. How could I describe it? Very free, very open, very different.
Yeah, and the second question, if there is time, could you, the deeply into the idea of using the body as protest and the creation of new thing, of new identity. This is a not very easy question. First, we have to define body also. And the body as a protest means what for you and what for me. And what is the body? Yeah, so the body itself also can be the group, can be also a body. Yeah, the collective can be a body. Me personally can be, I have the body, yes, okay, but also yeah, This is something what we have to define first of all, but also I would say, yes, what I was saying is that, like in media, what I'm using for protesting, for campaigning, for being in the artivistic or activistic way of using my body, I would say the easiest way to explain that to put myself on the street using my body, this means not using my voice, but using my in my form of my form of my art is in this kind is dancing or performing. This is a tool. This is one tool, one media you can use. You can use it in a different way too. But also before I was mentioning like social sculpturing. So as we are like when we are performing like in a group, it's not a company of dance. It's a sculpturing. So if you put something like a living installation in a public space, and this can tell something. So this is the way I'm using it. But yes, this is and this can create kind of new identities. This can create temporal different visions for the moment, because also dance is like projections, is very how to say in German we say flüchtig, so it's ephemeral. It's in the moment. You're there in the moment, and then it's gone. It's nothing stays there, except you're using color, whatever. For instance, which I have there's a place in Vienna we painted some shoes in red to point out the femicide, and it's still red there. It's a couple of years ago. We used the colors, it's still there forever, I guess. But in the other thing, what we are doing there, what we are performing, this is ephemeral, it's gone. It's just after that. So we have to archive it very well, to use it afterwards as a documentary for some messages. We can do it. And so this was what was ZDARSKY was talking in the beginning, as a present of us. We can use all what we are doing afterwards in the kind of a video documentary or pictures, photos.
Like, for example, if there is an image, Women Unite, you can take it and use it for your own campaigns and
yes,
or global empathy or whatever comes in these processes are kind of presents to the feminist movement worldwide. Yeah. And I think these art forms actually they unveil the true meaning of art, because the art as an object, as Ware, bitte, wie kann man Ware nicht wissen? Is a complete misunderstanding of art, misuse. Yeah. Art is to open our mind, soul, heart, body. Yeah. Art is not something that you can own. You can never own art. Art is in the moment, in time, now. It is here, now. Yeah. There's a complete misunderstanding that you can own the now, the process, the moment. How can somebody own a moment? Yeah, and say, oh, I'm better because I own a lot of moments. I can hang them over my sofa. I'm rich, I'm cool, I'm powerful. Yeah. So
yeah, on the other hand, many people, artists, try to do something which is not the now, it's forever. That's why how they do sculptures, they do paintings. So this is also one part of it.
Yeah, nothing is forever actually. So
no. So it's the struggle of human beings, of our little lives, to become something forever, which is not possible. I think this is also part of it, that we are writing books, constructing houses, paintings, sculpturings, doing all these things to create something for what is the question, no? And also this is our way maybe to define our identity and to try to find ourselves. but it's also a way for everybody to you can do this in a yeah, that's what I want to say. This is
about identities. There's something that came to my mind. I think I use identity. I look strange in the. I don't look normal. Yeah, when I walk the streets, people look at me and what is this? Is this a man? Is this a woman? She looks strange. I get a lot of different reactions, and is kind of a social experiment that I do now since a long time. Since I think I was a teenager, I started this social experiment with my own body, my own life, and I think the meaning of this is to oppose all the identities that are put on me and create one's own identity. Again, this point, don't ask anybody. I don't want to ask anybody who I am, who I'm allowed to be, who I should be. Creating your own role models in an experimental way. Of course, again, this has a high price for this to pay. The price is high, but at least you can learn a lot of things by creating your own identity. And es wäre ein Entwurf, a skizze of
the sketch.
A sketch of identity, sketch different identities, try them out and learn something and pick up what is working and throw away what is not very joyful or depressing or
And there's also something else with the body, using the body for protesting or using the body for telling something. It's the body is, this is the thing what we have. This is our materialization in this world, no? And this serious topic, what I want to say is, when if you get traumatized, abused, or whatever, in the moment you have this traumatizing thing, you escape from your body. And if this traumatizing happens very often, you are definitely out of your body for a long time. And some people cannot get back to their body anymore. I had a student of mine, she was abused for many, many years. And she really tried to find back to her body through dance. And I don't know if she reached it now, because we stopped, I had to stop teaching her once a while, after a while, but I don't know, but it was her way to try to reach, and it's possible through not only therapeutic ways, but through body work and for sure for dance, through dance, it's possible at least to try to reach, maybe not in this life, maybe in the next one, but this is a good way to find this way back, because and this is something which is a very important topic for us women and dancers, and it's we people who can still do this through our bodies are doing it in solidarity with those people who can't do it anymore. When I started to do this, I have to tell, I had many people coming to me telling me, I cannot, I thank you for this, what you're doing. It's wonderful. I'm also a victim, and I cannot do it. And it's so nice that you are doing it for us. So we are like kind of a, in German is Lautsprecher, I don't know, it's like a speaker. Yeah. We are like speaking out in solidarity for them, for those people who are not able to do it. And this is
giving a voice to the people that don't have the voice or cannot use their voice.
Yeah.
Go to certain circumstances, lost their voice.
So using the body for this is a very, very important topic, I think. Yeah. Any other questions?
I want to say, keep on, Martina, in Poland with this fucking shit that happens there. We recognize it all over the world. We can see this. We know this. We feel a lot of solidarity with you having to fight against this Polish government and taking over women's bodies so much again after this long and strong fight for more than 100 years or even more. It depends when you put it, but the right, the woman's right of their own body is so essential, so substantial, so basic. Yeah, this is a really basic right that is cut by men.
And it's amazing how many, I have seen pictures after the last rising what you had, amazing how many women you can mobilize. And I heard about the thing that the one woman had to die because she didn't get her, yes, I heard about.
Yes, and we have to think about a performance in Warsaw.
Yeah.
In the public space, huh?
We come. Yeah, but yeah. It's I think we have to build up structures of solidarity. Yeah, this is one of our jobs in this world. Yeah, is to create not only pieces, not only art, not only blah blah blah. We need to create solidarity structures. I think this is what we are missing still the most. Many women worldwide fight a lot and do good work, yeah, but we will be much stronger if we can develop solidarity structures that are strong. So if something happened in Poland, all the women worldwide go to action. If something happens here, if something happens in Africa, in India, in Guatemala, we are all affected. And in the moment that we understand that we are all affected, it's our business, it's not their business, my business, your business, it's our business. And if we find communication ways, and of course we need means also, money, structures, channels, communication channels to build this up.
Yeah. But you must know, Martina, we were rising in Vienna too, several times for Poland in solidarity.
Yes.
And we were loud and we were many. Just to know.
Thank you very much.
But I have a big Bewunderung. I
Admiration.
admire very much the Polish protests because they are really strong and visible, even in Austria, very visible.
Yeah, we have also some artistic friends here in the art field, but also some activists here from Poland, and they're very active here. Yes. So solidarity.
Stay strong, go on.
Yeah, yes, in the small around, I can say that there is the invitation at the end of the day that we will have the next conference, I hope, vis-a-vis and not online, in Poland, in Warsaw.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope, but be quiet. It's only for this round because we are only 10 persons. but that will be the surprise at the end of the day.
It's recorded,
Heidi.
Oh, okay. You have to cut this.
And it will be
online.
Have to cut this in the recording. Okay.
We have to cut. You say, oh no, we don't
But
know.
even if it's recorded, they will listen to it tomorrow. So
Anyhow,
yeah, anyhow, yeah.
yeah, it would be cool.
Yeah.
I had some years ago. I had a interesting and very stupid idea that I still sometimes comes to my mind, to end war. Because the wars are they are done in countries where the kind of the Western the main society doesn't care about. They make a big shout when there is something in Vienna, in Germany, blah blah blah. But in India, thousands of people die and nobody cares. Or in Syria, and this thing. I thought, and it came to my idea: if you all go now to Warsaw. Yeah, when we go to Warsaw, we make big protests. There's not, you can't oversee it anymore. My idea to end war was that we civil society people, that we care for the whole world, and if there is a war, like for example Syria, we go there 1 million people. We make a human teppich,
Carpet.
human carpet on the war zones. All these, we invite a lot of white male people that are very important to lay down there, because then it's not so easy to bomb again or to gas them or da. So if we can develop maybe this idea of human carpets or human collective human bodies that go to conflict zones, and
Only male.
and say, or we send all these important white men there and say, okay, if they're all there, all these presidents and bosses and directors and
Naked, please.
they cannot bomb this. They cannot bomb them, because this will a big shout out. If you bomb families and civil persons in Syria, nobody cares. In Afghanistan, nobody cares. But if you lay down there Barack Obama and Donald Trump and Merkel and
she's female.
all these presidents and they lay down there, they cannot bomb them anymore. Maybe this and maybe we have ideas like that. We are many. If we move through the world, go to conflict zones, and do something that they don't expect, that is new. I mean, a human carpet in war zones filled with important people is a complete new action. They would have to react to our action, not we always react to what they do. They then have to think, okay, now we cannot bomb. There's a lot of bosses, directors, presidents, ministers. Now we cannot bomb them. We have to find other solutions. So this is one of my intelligent, stupid, at the same time very intelligent, at the same time very stupid ideas that I have to propose.
That's our chance. No, we can imagine things that is out of reality, and but it makes us kind of free to imagine, and free to act, and not only to react. And this is something what is possible in art. I think this is something what makes life good and easier. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, hello.
Hello, hello. Nice,
Ah.
nice to meet you.
Nice
And
to
you
see
are Iran, and you are based now in Frankfurt, I see.
Yeah, actually, I'm Iranian. I live in Frankfurt. I have a background in philosophy, and yeah, and it's like the whole topics of performance and performative acts and so on is like something I'm also beschäftigt mit. I'm also dealing with.
Yeah. And Iran, I mean, women's rights is also a topic there, no?
Yeah, actually, such a big topic right now, and actually, right now, I'm trying to. Let's see if I can write something till the day of around. Okay, we have the day of what is it in English actually? Against the violence, International Day Against the Violence.
Yeah. 28th of
It
November.
comes in 20 days or 10 days or something.
Yeah.
26th of November. Let's see if I manage to write things. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and a lot actually exactly dealing with body,
Yes.
especially the things the whatever they're still doing more and more to how to say to control the women bodies, especially recently till this new topic of birth control and birth as population growth, and the way they want to force women in some way or to motivate them, but motivate with some kind of force to give birth to the new generation. It's a kind of very crazy things going on. And anyway, also in the neighbor country in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
There's a lot to work on.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're completely right. There is so much to do. It's really.
So you are a philosopher?
Complicated to say. I have a master in philosophy, and I'm doing a lot of different things, writing, a bit translating, and let's see, probably continuing if I make a big topic, a good topic for a project, probably in the next years. Otherwise, doing here and there different things which are interesting somehow for me. Yeah.
But you into the feminist
literature are more topics and my topics at least.
I also had something we did not talk about now, because even though the topics are so serious, what we are fighting for, but I think the art also gives us a chance to have humor, because this is something which is and this is something even in the hardest time to be able to laugh.
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
This is something which is so necessary, and this is what we also try to give us a chance to do it. And that's something we have some parts you can I hope you can laugh.
Yeah, thank you. Great.
Fun, yeah.
And anyway, laughing could make this comical effect, could make the very serious things or very strict things appear not that strict or not that stable or not that.
Exactly.
That would be wackelig. So you could see that they could be destroyed, or they could be no very firm feast.
humor is a strong weapon, and
course.
it's also one that strengthens yourself. Yeah, you
course,
gain power when you laugh about the powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
It's powerful because they are weak, shitty people. Some of them very weak personality.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They have big power in the world, and if you laugh, you empower yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so is somebody else, because now slowly we have to think to come to an end, and I still don't know some of the participants here. I would love to meet and see and
yes, me too. Show yourself on the screen.
It's also maybe for us it's more easy, because we're used to be artists and we are used to be exposed, to be visible, no? And other people are more working through something else, and so they're the personal identity of not to show, but bring maybe the artwork, not the artwork, the writings, the letters, whatever, the book out. But for us, it's something else. So because we're trained to this, we're trained to be exposed, to be seen.
Use our bodies as our personalities as a tool.
But it's also strengthens us, and it gives us also the power. It's not that we are, wow, so I want to be seen all the time. This is not this. But it's also, I think, about the presence, about also the oneself, the how to say, the authenticity in English. Yeah. And it's about honesty, I think, also. For me, for instance, like in a dance, it's very hard. It's really honest. You cannot lie. The body can't lie. I mean, through technique, you can do a little bit things around, but in reality, whatever you do on stage or in public space, it must be honest. Otherwise, it won't work. And this is what you really have to get over it, over the shyness, about the fear of being judged. And you have to be really confident and true in your being, in your work. And this is what's for me was a kind of a very, very big challenge, because even I can switch identity, even I can be different things or persons or entities in my performance, even though it's still me, it's still my body. So it's still, I have to be exposed there. That's what makes you vulnerable. But but also, what to say, it made me stronger too through this work. This is what I get. And also the energy, what I'm doing, for instance, for 1 Billion Rising, when I do this for the feminists, it's so beautiful, because I really, in the beginning, I was not the person who be in the mass and feeling the collective energy, which is most of the time quite aggressive, can be also dangerous. But when I was doing 1 Billion Rising the first time, I had such a beautiful feeling of this, how energy can switch to a positive energy in a group, in a big group, in a mass. And even, I must tell you, till now, each year after I've done this, I feel like when I go to the street and in the underground or in the metro, whatever, in the streetcar, I see the people, the women, smile. I feel them, they're smiling at me. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm smiling, I don't know. But it takes like a couple of days afterwards still. I feel this kind of breaking out with the big, good energy. It makes something with you and with me. Yeah. And this is something, it keeps me going on. Yeah. Something? Oh, wow. I read just now that many people have already watched the video. Wonderful. Yeah. So, Julia, maybe she wants to also speak a final speech as a president. Now she's sitting in your throne of the vagina throne. This is an artwork of a colleague of us, a good feministic artist.
This is the artwork of Rebecca Hochreiter and Leonie Rees. They did this wonderful throne for the...
And the clitoris can blink.
For the president of the Golden Revolution, which at the moment I am the president of the Golden Revolution. Yeah, I'm the president, and this is my throne. But this throne is also, of course, open for everybody. We would like you to also put yourself on the throne of the Golden Revolution and install your power in the world.
Where's the second breast? Where is your second?
One has one breast, one has maybe 2 breasts.
3.
At the moment, I have 1. I feed the world. breastfeed the world. Yeah, I think I don't want to say much anymore. I think everything is said already. Yeah. Yeah, I can show you something in feminism we trust. We will overcome. I don't know. I have some messages. We write her story now. Genau. And I think maybe maybe I don't talk so good or well, but I think in this very important feminist conference, I would like to bring in the point that maybe art as a method can bring a lot of empowerment to the feminist movement.
And joy. And fun. Not only, but also. So please stay strong. Please keep on going, and take care of yourself. Please watch yourself. Be nice to yourself. This is the most important thing, because we need you all healthy and strong, that we can fight for our topics. No, I think this is the one of the most important messages I want to tell you. And in our mind, in our imagination, we are really free. We can do so many things. As you see,
some little golden revolution for the Abschied, for the
to saying goodbye.
I say goodbye with some glitter and glamour of the golden revolution for all of you.
She's wonderful, isn't she? Yeah. So, well, I really thank you very much. It was very nice talking to you and being able to be here. Elena is here too. Thank you, Elena. Wonderful. Thank you, Heidi, for everything. Thank you to all of you. And I hope we see each other next time, maybe in person.
Yeah, I hope we see each other in real.
Yes.
For the next conference.